Today, I'm going to be going over how to mix a snare. Um, I don't have permission to play the whole song, so I'm just going to go over just the snare. I'm going to show you how to use some triggers with the snare, um, what I use, what I do, and different ways to manipulate the snare. So, um, this is a snare as it sits. Okay. Now that, what you're hearing is mic bleed. So not the best snare sound, right? So let's do this. So Slate Trigger, hands down the best triggering program, hands down. If you don't have this or you have something else and you're struggling, I suggest you try this because this is just insanely good. All right. So, all right, all the bleed's gone. And why is that? Because we're right here, this mix knob. So I can blend the original snare with my snare samples. Okay, simple as that. Another thing that I do sometimes, because this gate right here is really good. Usually I'll use the Fab Filter one, but that can usually always take care of it. But sometimes if I'm going to be using this anyways, and I'll just play with it, and if it don't work, then I'll go back to the Fab Filter one. But all right, so snare samples I'm using. That's the first one. More of the attack part of the snare sample. That one there's kind of give me like a poing and like a little more of the like the bottom end sizzle. And this one I feel just the Dan snare just gives me more body. And what you got to be careful of is listening for phase. So like there is no phase, so but that's it there. Okay, moving on. These are some pretty fundamental moves. I did 5K because you hear how dark that sounds now. Lot brighter, and that is a 5K 4 decibel. Actually, so you can hear it like right away. So much brighter. And another move I might do, I didn't on this one right here, but you might go to like a 10K boost. Look for some airiness, but So, and if any of you guys don't know, like every instrument has like a fundamental frequency, and one of the like the main fundamentals for snare is 200 hertz. That's a lot of body and the weight from the attack of the stick hitting the snare happens right there. You can look at it in waveforms. There's a huge buildup right there. I'll do with and without it. That's a 12 decibel boost, but you can hear what it does. See what happens when I take it out. Adding that, a lot of people will see that build up right there in that frequency and be like, oh man, and they'll cut it because there's too much going on. But if you don't know the fundamentals of certain instruments and things like that, you might actually end up damaging that sound. So boost 200 snares, look for some high end 5, 10, 12. What you got to use your ears, so. And I'm doing nothing in the mid highs. So some people scoop at 5, but this doesn't even have 5, but I don't need it. So that's actually all I'm doing with that channel. Let's go to the other snare channel. So same thing. So this guy here, this is just kind of, I don't even know what you'd call it, just kind of filling out the other snare sample. Just adds a little, like, roominess to it. I guess that's how I describe it. And I just boosted it at 10 kilohertz. Like I said, add some air to it. So it sounds like, no, I don't. Okay. So it's kind of like a gated sound too, which is kind of cool. All right, so that should be off. All right, next. I had it on already, so you probably heard it, but was being sent to a parallel compressor. These I just had on when I was mixing, and I don't have them on. I just go out of the snare bus into whatever. So, So let's check out what we're doing on the snare bus. So about a 4-to-1 ratio, about 29 millisecond attack, and a pretty fast release. And what I'm doing is, I think they call this upward compression, where I'm actually bringing in some of the dry signal, mixing it with the compressed signal. Because sometimes you want some spank, but you lose some attack, so you can bring in the original snare. Well, in this case, it's a sample, but the original sample, which has a lot of attack, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. So you can probably hear that spank that it has. Alright, so next, the good old EQ. And usually I'll compress after the EQ, but this is just how this chain happened. So, what do you know? Boosting at 200 again. And you guys might be like, yo, this guy's crazy, but why is he doing it twice? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's gain staging. So, you don't make one big move. You make multiple moves. Sometimes I'll have two buses for one element, because I'll do maybe a little on the source channel, a little bit on one bus, out to another bus, and then it's going to a parallel compressor, some reverb, then it's going through the mix bus. By then, you should be at a certain level to where my limiter, I have it my own default preset, because I kind of know the volume-wise where it should be, where at the end, when it's hitting my limiter, I'm getting around the gain reduction that I want. So, and it's never perfect. You always got to adjust something here and there, but it saves a lot of time. So, probably asking why I'm boosting that. I think that's probably why. This adds a little, like a super sharp amount of attack, but getting rid of this right here. So no one likes that. Damn 4K. And I'm cutting just up to 37 hertz. And remember, depending on your slope, wherever you're cutting, it's not boom, just gone. It's a taper, and it's all good. Alright, so. Alright. Taking some of that brightness away. So this is a cool trick I kind of learned recently, is if you need to add some presence to your snare, if the tone is right about where you want it, but it's still not quite cutting through, you can do this. You can do the C4 or C6, but you can see it's only kicking in when the snare hits, and probably hits hard. So that's what it's doing. So when it's in the mix, when that snare hits, it adds that high end presence really quick and helps it cut through. Alright, so let me go to this parallel compressor. Now, if you watch my other videos, this is actually a lot of different settings. I'm actually doing a fast attack, slow release, 10:1 ratio, medium knee, loud for tone because it's a snare, and this is just what worked. But so basically, this is like a crush bus. This is just crush everything. So off, on, And the reason for that attack like that is so that the attack of the snare kind of cuts through. So, and then I don't even know. Yeah, Vol vintage verb. It's a clear chamber. I don't know if I mess with those settings or not, but so the cool thing about that verb, which I like a lot, is it kind of adds like a roomy airness to it, and it's not overkill. It's not like, oh my god, listen to all that reverb. It's just it complements the snare, and that's what's super important, I think, with people that mix snares. Is a lot of times they'll just throw a huge reverb on there, and it's like, my god, there's so much reverb. A part that in the song that opens up, and there's like a lot of space around the snare, and it's just like ringing out. I mean, you don't want that. That's to me, that's a good sound. So, and all right. Well, what I can do here is I can take I'll just do this so we can see. So this is our this is post everything on the snare. Last insert on the snare bus. This is frequency. Let's just hear what happens if I scoop at 5. I don't know. It gets rid of some of that ring, but yeah, I mean, it's not going nowhere. I think it sounds a lot fuller like that. So, all right. Well, that was my snare mix tip. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like and share my Facebook page if you'd like. And stay tuned for some more mix tip videos.